Your skin instructor's tip of the week. If you offer HydraFacial, do not rely on the machines to sell the service for you. HydraFacial is recognizable, but recognition does not automatically create loyalty, retention, or profitability. What makes a HydraFacial successful is how you position it, how you educate the client, how you customize the experience, and how you build it into a long-term treatment plan. The device may bring interest, but the provider is what creates trust. HydraFacial is one of those treatments clients may already know by name, but just because they have heard of it does not mean they understand what it does, who it's best for, how often they should receive it, or why your HydraFacial may be different from someone else's.
Welcome back to the Skin Instructors. I'm Morgan.
And I'm Jolie. Today's episode is all about your burning HydraFacial questions. We asked 4 questions in the Facebook HydraFacialist group, and we got a couple of really good ones.
Yeah.
Especially around like pricing and client retention. So we decided to build this episode around the questions that come up most often for estheticians offering HydraFacial.
Yeah, and what I love about this topic is that it's not just about technique. You know, yes, HydraFacial is a treatment, but it is also a big business decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a huge investment. It affects your pricing, your menu, you know, your client experience, what you choose to upgrade to, part of your retention strategy, and how you're positioning yourself in the market.
Yeah, especially because HydraFacial is such a well-known treatment, and that can be a huge advantage. But it can also create some challenges if you are in a saturated area where multiple spas or med spas offer it.
Yeah, I can. So today we're going to talk about competitive pricing, retention, how to stand out, how to educate your clients, and how to turn HydraFacial into more than a one-time glow facial. Before we get started with your questions, I do have to brag on us a little bit. I will say that I would consider us experts about HydraFacial. You know, not just at Boscal, with us being the top provider in Ohio and number 6 in the nation. Woo woo. But both of us are also HydraFacial Connect masters. And I am a former business development manager from HydraFacial.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I love when we get to talk about.
Yeah, I like to brag.
I love HydraFacial. Okay, so let's start with the big one. How do you do competitive pricing for HydraFacial as a sole provider in an oversaturated market?
Yeah, I think this is a great question. This came from the HydraFacialist group on Facebook. You know, if the market feels oversaturated, the instinct is often to lower your price to compete. But that's not always the best strategy, especially as a solo provider.
Right, because if you are competing only on price, there will almost always be someone willing to go lower.
Exactly. And then that becomes a race to the bottom. We should be racing to the top, ladies. Come on.
Yeah.
So as a sole provider, you have to know your numbers. You need to understand the product costs with HydraFacial. You know, those consumables, you know, you should know right off the bat what it costs and how much you're spending on those consumables, along with your overhead, your rent, what you're paying if you're doing monthly payments on your machine, your time, taxes, payment processing, marketing, profit margin, all of those things. You need to get a really clear understanding of your finances before you make those decisions on pricing.
Yeah, absolutely. Because your price is not just about what other people are charging.
Yes. Yeah. Your price has to make sense for your business. So competitive pricing does not mean being the cheapest. It means being priced appropriately for your market, your experience, your client experience, and your value.
And I also think solo providers have to remember that they can compete differently than large spas or med spas. A bigger business may have more rooms and providers and more marketing and just more volume, but a solo provider can offer a more personal, customized experience.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. In fact, I'll refer back to when I was a BDM for HydraFacial. I always got this question. It's like, I just feel like the market is getting oversaturated. And I use the example of this one street in Cincinnati, and there were 5 accounts within a half a mile.
Oh, wow.
It was wild. And you would naturally just think, oh, like they can't possibly be busy. Like it's oversaturated.
Yeah.
4 out of the 5 accounts were Black Diamond accounts.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And can you explain what Black Diamond is for
Sure.
people who
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know?
yeah. So Black Diamond is like the top tier
Yeah.
HydraFacial account. They do the most HydraFacials out of any of their accounts.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. And so I had a lot of educating to do with those other accounts. Like, no, it's not oversaturated. In fact, like the fact that so many, like those businesses were so close together and being successful is just a testament to the device. And when people in the area are hearing about HydraFacial and like, oh, I know somebody who got that because they went somewhere down the street.
Yeah.
It spreads like wildfire, and you actually want other accounts around you to be doing HydraFacial.
Yeah.
But you want to separate yourself. You want to have that personal relationship. It's super valuable. So if you're a sole provider, you may not want to position your HydraFacial as, oh, just HydraFacial. You may want to position it as, this is your signature HydraFacial experience. It's all about what value you're bringing to that client.
Yeah. Yeah. So instead of listing, the same thing everyone else lists, cleanse, extract, hydrate, you are explaining what makes your approach different.
Bingo. Yeah. Are you doing a more thorough consultation? Are you customizing with boosters? Are you incorporating the LED? Are you focusing on barrier support, acne, pigmentation, texture, or event prep? Specialize in the HydraFacial.
Yeah.
And, another thing, are you educating the client on what the skin needs long term? This isn't a one and done treatment.
Yeah. And that's going to help allow you to compete on outcome and experience and not just the price.
Great. Yep. I would also recommend researching your local market, but not copying it blindly. Refer back to our last episode on Trend Trap. Look at what other providers are charging, what's included in that price, how long their service is, what upgrades are available, and how they're positioning the treatment.
Yeah, I think that's so important because 2 HydraFacials at the same price might not actually be the exact same experience.
Exactly. Yep. One may be a very basic express treatment, and then one may include a full consultation, your booster, your LED, lymphatic drainage, dermaplaning, or just in general, a more elevated service experience.
Yeah.
So when you're comparing prices, you have to compare what is actually included. And I think, going back to Boss Gal, that's what has differentiated us in this quote unquote oversaturated market. We have created an experience.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I think we create an experience, and we put a lot of education with our providers. So not only, are they getting the actual hands-on training with it, but they're getting the education behind the science behind HydraFacial.
Yeah, what steps doing. Yeah, absolutely.
So what would you tell a solo provider who feels like everyone around them is cheaper?
I would say don't panic. And also don't immediately discount yourself. First, get clear on your value. Then you can structure your menu strategically. You can have an entry-level HydraFacial that's simple and accessible, but then create higher option or higher value options with those targeted upgrades. So for example, a basic option, then you could have a corrective option and a luxury or event prep option.
Yeah, I like that because it gives clients choice without making everything about the discount.
Yeah, absolutely. You can also use introductory offers carefully, but I would avoid training your audience to only book when there's a deal. We don't want those Groupon clients.
Yeah.
If you discount constantly, then clients may stop seeing the treatment at its true value.
Yeah, I think that's such a big point because promotions can bring people in, but they should not become your entire pricing strategy.
Right. Yep. Your long-term strategy should always be built around education, the results that you're giving, and consistency in building that client trust.
Yeah. So the next question is about client retention. How do you get HydraFacials to come back consistently?
I think retention just starts before the client even checks in. If HydraFacial is positioned as a one-time glow treatment, that client may treat it like something they only do before an event. But if you view it and you position it as part of their skin maintenance or part of their corrective plan, they're more likely to understand why that consistency matters. It's all about education.
Yeah, so that language really does matter.
It matters so much. Yep. During the consultation, instead of saying, okay, today we're doing a HydraFacial, you can say, today we're using HydraFacial to deeply cleanse, exfoliate, extract, and hydrate. And based on your skin goals, I would recommend we use this as a monthly part of your maintenance plan. Or you could say, I'd like to see you every 4 weeks in the next few months while we work on congestion and texture.
Yeah, I think that helps the client understand that the treatment's not random. It really does have a purpose for them.
Yep. Treatment plans are a necessity.
Yeah.
Clients are way more likely to rebook when they understand the why behind it. And they need to know what you're working on today, what you want to do next time, and what they need to do at home.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds like the service cycle we talk about all the time. Today, next time, at home.
It's that simple. Yeah, HydraFacial fits perfectly into that. So today we're focusing on what your skin needs right now. Next time we are building on this result. And at home, these are the products that will help maintain it.
Yeah. I think client retention also improves when you take progress seriously. So take those photos, document what you're seeing, and track what you used, and then refer back to it.
Yeah, and get excited about it.
Yeah.
If a client comes in monthly and you're documenting their skin, their boosters, their concerns, and their progress, the experience feels intentional.
Yeah.
They're not just receiving the same facial every time.
Yeah, and I think that's where customization really does matter because clients need to feel like their provider is paying attention to them.
Even if the core steps of the HydraFacial are similar, your clinical thinking should not be the same for every single client. There's far too many customization options with HydraFacial. You can adjust your booster. You can adjust your glycol, your pressure, your add-ons, what tips you use, your home care conversation. Your next treatment recommendation should be based on what you see that day and build on it.
And then another retention piece is rebooking before they leave.
Oh my gosh, yes. Please don't let them walk out the door. That's you're leaving part of the service on the table. And the way you say it matters too. Instead of asking, "Oh, do you want to rebook today?" No, girl. Say, okay, so for the goal we're working on, I want to see you back in 4 weeks. Let's get that scheduled so we can stay consistent.
I love that. That sounds confident without sounding pushy.
Yeah, I'm just your buddy. I'm trying to help you out.
Yeah.
Retention's not about pressure. It's about leading your client.
So this is one that I think a lot of providers can relate to. How do you make your HydraFacial stand out when everyone offers it?
Yeah, this kind of is related to the first question. You have to stop assuming the treatment name is enough.
Yeah.
If your marketing only says HydraFacial available, that may not be enough to differentiate you because other providers are saying the same thing. And don't get me started on the HydraFacials that everyone says are the same.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So instead of marketing the device only, start marketing your approach.
Right. Yep. Talk about the experience. Talk about the customization options, their skin goals, the education that comes with it. For example, instead of saying, book a HydraFacial, you could say, our acne-focused HydraFacial is designed to help decongest pores, calm visible inflammation, and support clearer looking skin with a customized treatment plan.
I love that. Or for event prep, you can position it around, glow and hydration and smooth makeup application.
Yes, please get it done before those events. You can create different HydraFacial pathways based on client goals, acne support, glow and hydration, pigmentation support, barrier recovery, bridal prep, your monthly maintenance, or post-travel reset.
I love that because the client's not just choosing a machine, they're choosing the result that they want.
Yeah. I also think education content is a great way to stand out. So creating posts that explain what the HydraFacial does and what it does not. Explain who it is good for, how often to get it. You can talk about what boosters are, why extractions matter, and how your home care affects the results.
And show your face, especially if you're a solo provider.
Yeah, you are the brand. If you're a solo provider, you are that brand. People are not only buying HydraFacial, they're choosing you. Your knowledge, your communication, your treatment style, your client care, that's a differentiator.
Yeah, and that is something bigger businesses may not always be able to replicate.
Exactly.
So the next question is, how do you explain the HydraFacial without overpromising?
There's no way to overpromise the HydraFacial. It's magical. No, this is so important because HydraFacial can create a beautiful, immediate result, but we do still need to set realistic expectations. Like, it's not going to magically remove all that pigmentation on your face, girl.
Yeah, right. Clients may come in thinking it'll clear all their acne, erase pigmentation, and then permanently shrink their pores or replace every other treatment.
Yeah, I like to explain HydraFacial as a treatment that deeply cleanses, exfoliates, extracts, and hydrates the skin using a vortex-style technology. So depending on the client's skin and the booster used, it can also support concerns like dullness, congestion, dryness, uneven texture, and overall skin health.
Right, but it's not magic.
No, it's not magic. We aren't magicians here. It's not going to permanently shrink your pores.
Sure.
It's not going to erase those deep lines that you've been, building over 30 years.
Yeah.
It's not going to fully clear severe acne by itself. And it's not going to lift pigmentation in one session. It's not a replacement for medical care when a condition is outside our scope. That's very important.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do still want to position it honestly.
Yes. Yeah. You can say you will likely notice smoother, more hydrated, glowier skin after today's treatment. And then for long-term changes like congestion, texture, acne, or pigmentation, we'll want to build a plan with consistent treatments and home care.
Yeah, I love that because it gives the client excitement, but it's also keeping their expectations realistic.
Right. Yeah. Overpromising may get someone to book once, but honest education is what gets them to trust you long term.
Okay, so next question. What is the biggest mistake that providers make with HydraFacial?
I would say treating it like the same service for every client, like not using the customization options.
Yeah, I think that's such a good answer.
Yeah, I mean, yes, HydraFacial has a protocol, but that doesn't mean that every single client walking in your door should be getting the exact same treatment.
Yeah.
Okay, the provider still has to assess the skin. Is the client oily and congested or dry and dehydrated? Are we noticing sensitivity in the skin? Are they acne prone, or are they prepping for an event? Are we working on pigmentation, barrier repair? There's so many different, elements. You should always be doing that consultation and skin analysis.
Yeah, because if not, you're just kind of going on autopilot, and truthfully, you're not giving your client the best treatment for them.
Yeah. The machine does not replace aesthetic judgment. It's not a one and done, like turn it on and swipe.
Yeah.
You still need to decide what the skin can tolerate, what the goals are, what level of exfoliation makes sense, what booster fits, and what other add-ons could be useful, and what should happen next.
I also think some providers undereducate because they assume that the client already knows what a hydrofacial is.
Always. Huge missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Even if the client has had HydraFacial before, they may not know what each step does or why you are customizing in a certain way. One of the top reasons that clients do not return to HydraFacial is because the provider did not explain the steps.
Yeah.
The other is that it was super messy.
Yeah.
So watch your flow.
Watch your flow. Yeah, I mean, education turns that basic service into a professional experience. And I would say the biggest difference with clients nowadays versus maybe 10 or 15 years ago is they're a lot more educated.
They are. Yeah, absolutely. The treatment may be well known, but your expertise is what makes it really valuable.
Okay, so let's do a little rapid fire segment.
Okay.
Can HydraFacial help with acne?
Yes, 1,000% yes. There's a lovely study that HydraFacial did with a partner, and it can be super useful for acne-prone skin, especially when we're dealing with congestion, mild breakouts, but it should be part of the larger acne plan for anyone struggling.
Yeah, and what I liked about that study is they just did their signature HydraFacial. They did not even add in a booster with that. So I think they did the signature with an LED paired with it. So really great with results. And then with inflamed, severe, cystic, or medically managed acne, you need to be thoughtful and stay within that scope.
Yeah. So one thing that we do with our acne academy at Boscal is we, if someone comes in and they've got more severe acne, we'll treat them with more a traditional facial to calm down some inflammation, like if they're grade 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But get in there with HydraFacial after that. Like it is a game changer.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Can HydraFacial shrink pores?
It can help pores look cleaner and less noticeable, but it cannot permanently shrink the actual pore.
Exactly. I love that question. It
I
makes
do
me
too.
laugh. Cleaner pores can appear smaller, but pore size is influenced by genetics, oil production, congestion, and your skin elasticity.
How often should clients get HydraFacials?
So for most clients, every 4 weeks works really well for maintenance. But
for specific goals like congestion and acne support or even event prep, the schedule may be adjusted based on the skin and treatment plan. So you can receive one as often as once a week.
that's what I was going to say. I used to do it once a week.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I love that.
My skin was so great. I need to get back to that.
I'm sure.
When I had that machine in my house, it was like, it's time to suck my face.
Yeah.
All right. Julie, should every HydraFacial include a booster?
I mean, not necessarily, but also like, girl, yes.
Yes.
Customize that
agreed.
treatment.
Please. You don't have to do a booster, but it's certainly going to boost your results.
Ooh,
Pun
good one.
intended. Man, I'm good. Boosters are great when they match the client's goals,
Yeah.
but they should be recommended very intentionally, not automatically. I will say there's literally a booster for everyone out there, so there's no reason that you shouldn't be recommending a booster.
Yeah, I agree. Is the HydraFacial good before an event?
Yes. So for many clients, it can be a great event prep treatment because it leaves the skin looking really hydrated, smooth, and refreshed. I feel like my skin always looks amazing immediately after, but even the next day, oh, chef's kiss.
I agree. Yeah, but I would not make the client's first ever HydraFacial the day before a major event.
Right.
I mean, ideally test it a few weeks ahead of time.
Ideally, get them on a treatment plan and do several, and then the week of is perfectly fine.
Yep.
Can HydraFacial replace home care?
No. Absolutely not.
No. Never. No. Are you doing a HydraFacial every single day?
Exactly.
No.
Are you skipping brushing your teeth after the dentist?
No. Please say no.
Right.
HydraFacial can support the skin, but daily home care is what is going to maintain the results.
Should solo providers discount HydraFacial to compete?
Girl, no. We talked about this. Not as the main strategy. This isn't going to help you grow long term.
Yeah. Compete through value, education, customization, client experience, and consistency, not just your price.
All right. Can HydraFacial be combined with other treatments?
Yeah, often yes. I mean, depending on the treatment, the timing, the skin condition, and then the provider scope, but absolutely.
Yeah. The key here is the sequencing. So just because the treatments can be combined doesn't mean they should be combined for every client. I would say my favorite is if you're doing like a laser treatment, get your butt in for a HydraFacial the week before because like a Moxie, for example, it's literally attracted to water. So pump your skin full of water.
Yeah. And then
not that HydraFacial is just water, but you know what I'm saying. Hydration.
Yeah. Okay, so let's give some homework.
Yep. Okay, so this week I want you to do an audit on how you're positioning your HydraFacial on your menu, website, and social media. Are you only listing the treatment name or are you explaining the value?
Yeah, look at your description and ask, does this tell the client who this is for, what concern it supports, and why they should book it with me?
Then choose one HydraFacial service or upgrade and rewrite the description to be more client focused. Instead of just naming what it included, explain the purpose of it.
Write your elevator pitch.
Yes.
For example, instead of saying, includes booster and LED, explain what the booster and the LED are helping to support.
Yeah. I mean, better education is going to create better bookings.
Yeah, this is such a good episode because HydraFacial is one of those treatments that can be simple on the surface, but there's just so much strategy behind doing it well.
Yes. And whether you are a solo provider, a spa owner, or an esthetician working inside a larger practice, the key is remembering that HydraFacial should not just be treated like a machine-driven service.
Your consultation, customization, education, rebooking strategy, and client relationship are what makes that service successful.
Exactly. The device may create interest, but your expertise is going to create retention. I do want to share that we have a exciting upcoming event. Jolie will be speaking at the Beauty Legacy Show at the Covelli Center in Youngstown, Ohio. That sounds very Italian.
Right.
On September 21st. And she's teaching a class that's called Clear Skin, Clear Profit, the Esthetician Guide to Acne Results and Retail Success.
Yes.
She'll be talking about how to create stronger acne treatment plans, improving client outcomes, and confidently connecting professional treatments with effective home care and retail recommendations. So if you are in the Youngstown, Ohio area or attending the Beauty Legacy Show, make sure you check out Jolie's class. It's at 9 o'clock
Bright and early.
on September 21st. Make sure you say hello.
Yes, please. And the Beauty Legacy Show is not just for estheticians. It's also for cosmetologists, manicurists, barbers. So there's a lot of really great speakers and classes and just industry professionals. So stop by.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
We're so excited. All right. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at SC Training and visit visit our website, sdtraining.com, for more education and information about our extra credit membership. Until next time, don't hesitate to educate.